Hello and welcome back to the Cracking Fan YouTube channel. Today we're solving Leetcode 543, diameter of a binary tree. Given the root of a binary tree, return the length of the diameter of the tree. The diameter of a binary tree is the length of the longest path between any two nodes in a tree. This path may or may not pass through the root. The length of a path between two nodes is represented by the number of edges between them. So let's look at an example where we have this tree, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and what is the diameter? So in this case, it tells us that the diameter is 3, and that's because basically the length of the longest path is from 4 to 2 to 1 to 3, right? And there's basically 1, 2, 3 edges here. So that's why the solution is 3. Or we could go 5 to 2 to 1 to 3, in which case there's still 3 edges here. So the way that we solve this problem, and this is actually going to give us the foundation to solve a lot of other problems which have a similar kind of pattern here, is we're going to use a DFS. And what we want to do is basically just go to the leaves and then build our solution as we go up. And before we do this, it's really important to notice that the diameter of a single kind of node is going to be basically 0, right? And you need to have connected to something in order to actually have a diameter here. And essentially what we want to do is we want to start our DFS from the root node, and we're going to go down and bubble up into the children until we get to the leaves, in which case we can now start passing up information to the parent. So for example, we'd start our DFS, let's say we go to 2, then we go to 4 and 5. Obviously, these are the leaf nodes, so we can actually now start returning information back to the parent. So what we're going to return basically is the length of the path from 2 to 5 and 2 to 4, because those are the kind of terminus nodes. So that's going to be 1 and 1. Now, what we can do here is we can, apply either we'll apply a greedy algorithm, right? We can say that potentially the length of the longest path could be 2 to 4 to 5, right? Which would be a path length of 2 because we have this connection here. But obviously this node 2 is not the root of the tree, and it doesn't know anything about what's higher up in the tree. So this may not actually be a global maximum, right? It could be a local minimum or maximum, sorry. But we don't actually know what's higher up in the tree. So every time we return from the children from our DFS, we'll simply take whatever the current maximum is, and we can actually check whether or not taking this root, so basically adding the length of the left tree plus the right tree, will this give us a new answer? If so, we can update our diameter. But then when we actually return to the parent, we're going to have to pick either the left side or the right side to go forward to the next level, and we'll just take whatever is longer, right? We want to find the longest path, so we'll take actually whatever the maximum length here is, and then add 1 to that, because obviously now we're taking this node and passing it up to its parent, and we're basically just going to do this for the entire tree. And ultimately, this will give us kind of our solution here. So it's a little bit convoluted to see how this works, but basically let's do it in the code editor and I'll walk you through it, and it should hopefully make a little bit more sense. But basically, as soon as we return the DFS from kind of a child in our DFS, once it bubbles up back to the parent, then we need to basically check the local kind of solution, which is to take the left and the right, add them together, check if that actually gives us a better solution. And then when we return to the parent, we need to take the longer of whatever the left and the right is, and then we can keep bubbling this up to try to find the global maximum, and ultimately we will find it. So that is the general gist of the algorithm. Now let's actually go type it up, and hopefully you remember this pattern because it comes up a lot where we need to choose, basically the left or the right, and also evaluate the kind of local maximum in search of that global maximum. Okay, enough blabbing. Let's now actually go to the code editor. Okay, we're in the code editor. Let's now type this up. So we need a variable to actually store our solution here. So let's just say self.diameter, and this is initially going to equal to 0. We're going to call our DFS function on the root, and we'll define this function in a second. And this will actually just go through the process of updating this self.diameter so that we can just return it at the end. and then we simply just return self.diameter. From the main function. Now we actually need to define the DFS function, which is going to do all of the logic, which we just talked about in the kind of intuition section. So let's define that function. So we're going to say def DFS self, and it's going to take a node. Now, obviously, if the node is null, there's nothing we can do with that node. So we just want to return 0 because obviously we can't count that node. So we're going to say if not node, then we're simply going to return 0. Otherwise, if we're at a leaf node, then we just need to return to the parent. And obviously, if there's a leaf node and we're returning to the parent, then that means that there exists an edge between that node and its parent. Therefore, we want to return 1 because that's the length of the path between the previous node and the current node, which is a leaf. In order to get a leaf, then we actually need to return 1 here. So we're going to say if not node.left and not node.right, we're just going to return 1. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to basically call our DFS into the left subtree and the right subtree to figure out the length, right? So we're going to say the left length is going to equal to self.dfs of node.left, and the right length is going to equal to self.dfs of node.right. Cool. Now what we want to do is we want to update our self.diameter. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to say basically self.diameter equals the maximum of what? So it's going to be the current maximum because we're not actually guaranteed to find the global maximum here. So it's still, we need to still take into account the best solution that we found so far. And we are going to say the left length plus the right length, right? So this is the case where whatever node we are at, this current node, we've now explored its left subtree and its right subtree. We're going to temporarily check whether or not taking its left subtree and its right subtree, joining them at our current node would actually give us a better solution. So that's why we do the left length plus the right length. So we're going to join the left subtree and the right subtree lengths and get them together. Otherwise, what we want to do, after we've done that and basically updated our diameter, we need to now move up into the tree. But remember that the length, we can't just take the left and the right subtree and then go up. We have to pick one side. We can't just go through both and then also go through the parent. We have to choose whatever is the longer one. So we're going to do 1 plus the maximum of whatever the left length is, left length, and the right length. So obviously whichever path is longer, we're going to take that one and then add 1 to basically indicate that we're now going up to the next parent. So there is that edge there. So we're going to add 1 to the path because we're now going up 1 level in the tree. So basically that is the algorithm. And if we run this, we can see that it should be accepted. Cool. So time and space complexity here, relatively straightforward. All we're doing is a simple depth first search through our tree. So this is going to take big O of n time, where n, of course, big O of n, where n equals num nodes in the tree. And the space complexity here is also going to be big O of n, because obviously we have to have our DFS, we have this recursive stack, and in the worst case, we're going to have a completely skewed tree. So basically think all left subtrees or all right subtrees, in which case we'd basically be storing all of kind of the elements on the stack at once. Therefore, the space complexity here is big O of n. So that's how you solve this problem. Like I said, it's a very common pattern that you'll see across many problems to deal with trees, where basically you need to go into the left subtree, the right subtree, take some sort of local maximum, which also could be the global maximum. And then also when moving up the tree, you need to choose one of the paths, either the left side or the right side, to pass to the next level, because typically you can't go through, you can't take both the left subtree and the right subtree and then also go up. You have to choose which side is longer. Otherwise, it just doesn't work for typically these problems. So very common one, definitely good to kind of memorize this bit, or at least have it at the top of your head, where you're finding kind of the local maximum and then moving up higher into the tree, taking one of the sides. Anyway, that's enough blabbing. If you found the video useful, please leave it a like and a comment. Helps the channel grow. Subscribe to up that count as well. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.